Hey yo, how we doing, people? We got an important guest today. We got the Angel of Death from FreshenUp. What is going on, man? For everybody listening,
What's
Relly and
up?
Teach, ready to preach, ready to talk energy drinks. This is your one and only at the moment all energy drink and all energy supplement podcast. So, Angel, I am so glad to have you on. I've actually been looking forward to this for
Yeah,
literally quite all week. And
yeah, I've been quite excited about this. I mean, considering it's my very first podcast I've been on, so
Oh, welcome
never
in.
done it. I've done, an interview or two here and there, but nothing necessarily podcast wise. I actually
it's a little
just
something to
recently
get used
started.
to at first, but it's
Yeah,
good.
I know a couple people who watch a lot of podcasts, and I try to start getting into some of them, and they're actually quite interesting. So
They can
definitely
be.
something to watch at work or listen to at work, which is what I like. So.
Listen in the
Welcome to
car.
being a part of the Caffeinated Podcast alumni, Mr. Angel. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. We had Jordan on recently, and that was a blast having him, the CEO and founder of FreshenUp. Angel, floor is yours. Please introduce yourself. Tell us about yourself. What do you do? What do you stream? What do you content create? All that good jazz.
Yeah, so my name is Angel. People call me Angel for the most part, but my first name is Justin as well. I've got it in my bio, so it's no secret as to what my first name is. But yeah, we do stream on Twitch. We post content everywhere, as far as, TikTok, YouTube, and whatnot. I do work a full-time job, so this is kind of like my part-time slash hobby, whether it be streaming and gaming, meeting new people versus being at a bar. So type of deal. I got that out of my system early on, and then it kind of worked out. So now I'm like a lazy person who just prefers to stream and game versus go out. So, but yeah, I'm also a father and a husband. So trying to,
Happy for you.
yeah, multitask, multiple things has been, quite interesting, especially when it comes down to try to push out content and whatnot. But I've learned a lot. I mean, if there's anything I could take from this, I've learned a lot about editing, how to operate a PC. Literally started off with an Xbox One, like the straight first OG one. I was streaming on that 2 years ago. And then I want to say about 6 months to a year in, finally I went ahead and full sent it, went full PC. And I love it. Still learning the PC aspects a little bit here and there, but I've got quite a few awesome people who can help me out with that. That way I don't mess up something or fry my PC.
Very nice.
But yeah, no, I love everything about streaming, man. I've met some amazing people from it. Believe it or not, Door Donkey is one of the guys that I usually stream with about 2 days a week. And we do a lot of content together, I guess you could say, a lot of trolling and whatnot with one another. And he turned out to be one of my best friends. Like, he met my family, came down for my daughter's first birthday, So you guys will probably see a lot of me and him across social media. We have this like whole thing where we're like secretly in love type of deal.
I've
We
seen
get
a little
married.
bit of it, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's funny how it all works, man. Now for those of you that are just tuning in, such, me and Teach have never met in person. We kind of just were in a group, and we just kind of said, "Hey, are we doing this?" And like, if you go onto our YouTube channel, and if you actually go by videos, there's only 4. But if you hit the live tab, there's everything else. We literally tried out just like, hey, let's shoot for this every Monday, this time. And we did 4 episodes just to see if it would work. And then we upload everything and we went live week 5. And some people are like, wait, you're doing this now? And some people are going by like, what are you doing with this? And some people just straight up didn't even think it would work. And they're like, what the hell are you guys doing? You don't even know each other. But we've gotten to know each other very well, talked about multiple different brands, did a lot of comparisons, and you know, there's a lot of people that have learned a lot from this stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
we're learning more by the day. Like, some people didn't know things like, hey, if you're 12 years old, you shouldn't be having any caffeine, and if you're a teenager, it should be X amount, which is 100 milligrams. Which
Yeah. Which I never knew that too, starting out. Which, believe it or not,
I didn't either.
when I saw, Freshen Up had 100 milligrams of caffeine, I'm like, man, I'm intaking like 3-4 times that in a day, which probably wasn't healthy for me. And they're like, yeah, your max is like 300. I'm like, oh shoot.
They say your maximum. They say it goes like height, weight, and index and all that.
Yeah.
They say average is 400 maximum. But it always just made me think, like, I didn't have any proof of this, but I used to be working in a town called Carmel, New York, and right by this middle school, it was a supplement shop, and they made a good amount of their killing selling bangs to middle schoolers, which I'm kinda thinking to myself, "That's asinine."
Yeah.
One, on the can, it says, "Don't sell it to anyone underneath the age of 18."
Yeah.
Number 2, you're selling all these 12-year-olds 300 milligram cans. Just drink at, like, freaking lunchtime or at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah. So I don't even think I even recall growing up in school. Heck, I don't even think not even high school we had energy drinks in our vending machines or anything like that. I don't even think
My
we
schools
even.
didn't have vending machines, but Monster was the poison of choice back then, and I swear, even then, like there'd be some people I know that would take like a 4-pack and put in a water bottle, and I'm like, you guys are nuts.
See, believe it or not, this is probably going to tell you how old I am. Mine was actually NOS. I think it was the one that had like the green cap
Yep.
on top. Yeah, you remember those? Yeah, like if you had something like that, you were like Mr. Cool or something like that. Not so much Monsters. I think NOS was the big one for us growing up. And that was like
Was
probably
that
about the first one that I've tried.
was that when it actually looked like a bottle back then, like an
Yes.
actual not like it
Yes.
looked like a little
Yep.
spaceship kind of freaking bottle?
Yeah,
Looked
like
like
it
an
actually
off
looked
button.
like like an NOS tank. Yeah.
I love that design, man. Like, heck, I remember going to a vending machine and getting a Pepsi or a Mountain Dew bottle, and I saw the shape that's in now, and I'm like, I don't like that. What the hell is this? like,
Yeah, that.
like I thought it was like smaller for whatever reason, but yeah.
Yeah, it was my very first. I said my very first one was NOS, and then I think later on we started getting into like Red Bull and Monster, um, which for me I think Monster just gave me the biggest headache, which is why I never really was too interested in Monster for whatever reason. I just
I'll be
kind of
honest.
stuck with
I'll be
NOS at
honest
that
with you,
time.
man. I like the low carb better. Like some people made me, they're like, "Huh, you don't like sugar? What, you diabetic or whatever?" And I would just say, "Yeah, I'm diabetic. So can you just shut the hell up and not bother me for the next 2 hours? That'd be great." But
Yeah, yeah,
there's
and
so many.
see, I've always
So
been
many.
one of those people where I just have to rely on energy. Like, I don't drink coffee just because it just does weird things to my body. Um,
Well, Jordan actually mentioned that ironically. He just goes, "Hey, I like my coffee too, but guess what? Too much, you will be in the bathroom."
yep. Like even like where I work at, here in Georgia, dead in the summer, these guys will be drinking a hot cup of coffee. I'm like, and that's probably why you guys work an office job because there's no way I would never get my job done because I'd be too busy in the bathroom half the day.
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I used to work maintenance, so I mean, I know how it goes. It's like, there would be times where it'd be summer and people would be complaining, like, my office is too hot, 72 degrees. And here I am sweating my butt off. And they're like, "Why are you so hot?" And I'm like, I've been cutting the grass outside all day, right? They're like, "Oh." Like, well,
Yeah,
what the hell?
see,
It's
yeah,
like, you want sympathy? You want to talk to me? Enjoy
yeah.
your coffee and let me work in peace, please and thank you.
Yeah, I'm definitely starting to hear your accent now too. That's funny
Eh,
too.
it
Yeah,
comes and goes. I like my coffee and the pork, and like, and
you
I got a
pimpus and
shot in the Harvard
sausage.
yard.
It's funny when I've moved from Chicago down to just down to South. It was funny hearing people tell me like, "Hey, you have a really weird accent, right?" I was like, I have an accent. I was like, "Have you listened to how y'all talk?" I was like, "You guys are the ones that have that accent." I'm like, "I talk normal. I don't know what you're talking about." And they're like, "Well, no, just go ahead and say Chicago again." I'm like, "Chicago." They're like, "Yeah, it's the way you emphasize it." I was like, I mean, I guess, but
Well, I mean, I always try to tell like people certain words, and sometimes they say that I'm
That's
a
apparently
jukebox.
what's
It's
what it
like,
is. Is the certain words that come out with the accent. Apparently, according to them, I'm like, I've watched my VODs multiple times. I don't hear it. I'm like, I just talk like a normal person.
let's see. Like Teach is probably gonna laugh at this. Coffee, water, sauce, parking lot, Houston.
I've heard it enough. It doesn't even phase me now. It's a fugazi at this point.
Yeah, see, like
gaze.
Yeah. Now the only kind of coffee that I will drink, but it'll always be like once in a blue moon, is like whenever we go out with like the wife or the kid and go do like outdoor stuff and all that, or shopping, or I guess you could say, would be Starbucks Frappuccinos or anything Starbucks frozen. Those I'm okay with. Still wouldn't drink in the summertime, but those ones I have no problem for.
To
or
be
no
honest,
problem with.
when it comes to caffeine for me, like when it comes to like coffee per se, mostly like if it's at night, it's usually like certain gatherings. Like you know how they have coffee and cakes at weddings, or they make coffee before everybody goes home at a party, stuff like that. I'll have myself a nice cup. I'll take it black. Everyone looks at me funny. They're like, "You don't drink coffee, but you're taking it black," and I'm like, "Here, aren't I?"
Yeah, see, and that's how the guys at work do it. They drink theirs black, steaming hot, fresh. Like literally, it'd be like 100 degrees plus the humidity, and I'm looking at them like, "You're crazy. There's no way. There's no way you're still alive at the end of the day." Like I don't see it. I've tried coffee black. Mm-mm.
So let's get into the meat of it, because I know if I let Relly go any longer, he should be rambling the entire hour. So Jordan, as you know, not Jordan, Angel, as you know, you are part of FreshenUp, and as we
Correct.
bring you on as a FreshenUp guest, what drew you into FreshenUp? How did you hear about them? What made you be like, you know what, this is the company I want to be sponsored by, I want to promote, I want to be affiliated with, I enjoy the products. Like, give us the whole rundown how you and FreshenUp came to be together.
So basically, what ended up happening was a company that I was previously drinking their stuff. Some certain things happened with them, which I don't want to say because I don't know whether or not it's true or not. It was just basically seeing a bunch of people leave them. Just gave me.
I already know what you're talking about. We had a whole
Yes.
episode on that. It's okay to say it if you want. It's all factual. It's very factual.
Yeah. So with that happening, I wanted to pursue something else. And I actually saw that Jordan was actually on an interview. I guess you could say, over a podcast. I'm not sure which one it was, with Get Wet Sports, and got to watching that one day, seeing what they were about. I was asking them questions, and I really enjoyed everything that they were saying, about FreshenUp. How healthy it is for you, how it's only 100 milligrams of caffeine. Because my biggest negative factor with what I was drinking before was when you take that last sip of your drink and you just get a clump of powder. It was the most disgusting thing that I could possibly have in an energy drink. So for the no chalkiness with FreshenUp, I was kind of drawn to that. And obviously the lower, caffeine, to where I was able to drink more during the day. Because what I was drinking before, I was drinking probably 300 milligrams drinks in a day. It's probably way over. Probably not healthy at all for me either.
Well, Teach probably doesn't even want to say how much he consumes. I know the amount, but
it's about 800, 1200 milligrams each day.
Oh God, yeah.
So he would drink both of us underneath the table, to say the least.
Yeah, literally. So basically what I ended up doing was I ended up buying my first tub, which was now it's called Sour Blue Raz, because I was kind of curious about that flavor, because I don't like sour drinks, like to the point where it's worse than like a sour warhead. It's just not, it just doesn't appease me at all. So
not your thing. All right.
Yeah, I tried it once. I think it was a ghost can, I believe. I tried that and it was just like, I'm like, oh God, I couldn't enjoy it. I like a nice smooth. So with the Freshen Up tub, it was just the right amount of sour, not too much, not too little, just enough to where it gives you a little bit of a kick, but not an over, you know, sour kick, which is what I did not like. And from there, I mean, just seeing how the community was, seeing how the company was, seeing how well Jordan treated, them, treated everybody, how everybody was just all around good people. I'm like, this is something I want to pursue. I fell in love with Freshen Up ever since that first time. So it was like, in the weirdest way possible, it was love at first sight type of deal.
I mean, I'm starting to have a little bit of that myself, and ever since the episode aired, we've actually had a couple of people try some stuff. I ordered myself something. I just found out 5 minutes into the episode, a guy who was on the show, he's not sponsored or partnered or anything, but he got himself a sample pack.
Oh,
Uh,
sweet.
Somebody who's watched all 60 some odd episodes, he bought a tub, and he also bought a glitch tub recently as well. Surprise,
That's
Teach?
awesome.
Next topic, because that's not what we're about tonight.
I'll get to that later. But I mean, it's just surreal, man. Like every single question we've asked him, like there's one where I'm like, why'd you decide to go 100 milligrams a scoop? And he goes, well, if you go by the regular amount that someone's supposed to have maximum a day, somebody could have their coffee in the morning, triple scoop this son of a gun, shake it up, and still be at the daily limit and not much over. And I'm like,
Yeah, because
okay,
that's basically
logical.
what I do. Yeah, I double scoop in the morning for work, and then like during stream, I'll one scoop it. That's
Just to
basically
keep a little bit awake a little bit, right?
yeah. I mean, I'm already, my energy levels are already high enough as it is, so it's just like adding more onto it. But especially in the morning, morning is definitely when I need it. Even though I'm a morning person, I just like to be awake and focused. Um,
just on your game and everything
Basically,
else.
yeah, because with my job, I kind of have to be. I drive a local hazmat truck where I load and unload and deliver my own medical and welding bottles. So it's a very physical job, and I gotta have that extra oomph to get through the day. So
I hear you on that. So what you said the first flavor you tried from Freshen Up was the sour blue raz?
well, they changed the name. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was called sour.
That'd
Yeah,
be a real treat.
sour blue shock was what it was called before. It's sour
Ah,
blue raz now, but yeah, that was it for me. And considering it being a sour drink too, I just took a chance, and that was the seller right there.
for me, when I talked to him about certain flavors that he had, and I found it very like we were stunned when we found out that he could make a new flavor within 10 days if he wanted to. Like idea, produce it, be able to sell 10 days. Like that's unheard of. We actually had
Wow.
a creator on. So he was making a flavor along with a collector's box and shaker and all that. He said that it took almost 2 years to get everything
Jeez.
the way he wanted. So when I heard 10 days, I'm like, see, if he said 6 months, I wouldn't be surprised. But 10 days, I'm like, within 2 weeks, you can release a flavor like that. Like, holy crap. But
Yeah, that's
for me, what did was the Raven's blood because no one's got a straight up strawberry flavor. I mean, and if you look at what's on the market outside the G Fuel strawberry slushy in a can, if you could find it,
yeah.
Monster's making the reserve kiwi strawberry. But I'll take the Freshen Up strawberry in the powder, man. I think it's solid. It's got that juice. It's got that makes you want to go more. And you know what actually has been making more sense as I'm going along with it and doing the show. The one thing that I love about it, no hard dies.
Yes, yeah, and that was the thing too with me is I've never been a powder kind of guy. I've always preferred, cans over anything. just how I was, just how I prefer my drinks. And now it's literally to the point where I prefer the powder versus cans. Where cans for me, once once the cans are released with Freshen Up, for me that'll be just more of a lazy thing where, you know what, I'm too lazy to make myself a cup. I'll just grab a can, or it'll be more or less like a streaming drink. Just grab one out of the fridge type of deal. But I've always preferred canned drinks versus powder, and now I'm just like stuck and glued onto these powder drinks.
I mean, for me, this is just myself, but I mean, when I've worked, it's always been easier to have a can, but
Hmm.
I mean, powder is a lot more practical, and I'm
Yeah.
always going to have water near me. There's always going to be water at the workplace, in the work truck, because we carry bottled water. I will say though, I am really looking forward to the Freshen Up cans. And I asked Jordan, I said, why did you do this amount of caffeine amount? Because if you look at the open market, he could have easily just said, I'm going to try and be king of the 300 milligram market because there's Bang, there's Rain, there's G Fuel, and here's me. I'll take that trophy from fourth place, try and make it to first place if I can. But he said, if you go by caffeine content and everything else, if someone wants to drink 2 of these a day, I'm
Hmm.
keeping it at where it is. And I applaud him for it. I really do. And when that Raven's Blood can comes, I I'm really hoping that I could
Oh
get
Really,
yeah.
myself a
did you
case.
say their
And
cans were going to be 300?
uh, I think they're gonna be one. I think it's
60.
They're
160, I believe.
160. Yep, they're
Mhm.
160.
But he could have easily, because if you look at all the energy drinks that are between 140 and 200, there's a lot of them. That's competitive. He could have just entered the 300 milligram game with it for Freshen Up, and it would have been a lot more competitive. But he decided to not go there. So
Yeah,
again,
I mean,
I applaud him
yeah.
because that takes
Hmm.
guts.
Oh yeah, I mean, honestly, if you think about it logically, let's say you're one of those people that you really like cans. You know, you're one of those people you want to drink like 2 to 3 cans a day. If you have ones that are like 300 milligrams, obviously you don't want to be pounding 3 cans in a day, unless you're Teach, of course. You just want that extra,
Yeah.
But I mean, if you want to obviously be one of those people that you actually, only want to keep down a certain limit of what you intake as far as caffeine, you know, that'd be the smartest way. Which was what I loved so much as well was, granted, yes, I'm getting a lower dosage of caffeine per drink, but I'm at least allowed to have multiple during the day with not being able to overdo myself. And
That's
honestly, I
very
mean,
true.
I can only imagine what I was drinking in a day. Um, and being that I cut back a lot of it makes me honestly feel 10 times better.
See, I was originally going to ask because we talked to Jordan about it, and we like mentioned with him about how you Freshen Up was coming out with cans, and you even mentioned the whole thing. So I was going to ask, like, when they come out with cans, did you plan to go back to cans, prefer powder then? But you already had answered that. Do you have plans to get the cans in to try?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Are you getting one of the?
I've already gotten in the works with Jordan. I told him, listen, expect at least 5 or 6 12-pack cases for me. Because I've got a mini fridge it's empty. I just that's gonna fit 48 cans. So yeah, that bad boy is
48
gonna be
cans,
stocked
damn.
up.
Is it a Freshen Up mini fridge?
It can be? Question mark.
Jordan, you hear him. Let's get this man a Freshen Up fridge.
Um, without going into too much details, it can be or will be a Freshen Up mini fridge.
Okay.
Hey, that's fair.
So we're gonna leave it like that. But I'm sure everybody will see eventually on Twitter, very soon. So
Can't wait to see it.
But
So at least-
the initial reason why I went with the mini fridge that I got, which is a clear faced or glass faced, was for me. I just liked when I do stock that bad boy up with Freshen Up cans and people see what's in there, they're going to ask me, "Hey, listen, what's in your mini fridge?" I'm gonna be like, listen, this is what we got in the mini fridge. This is what we're drinking. Especially for like, new people that come in to stream or whatever, they'll see that, and their first question will be, well, what's in the mini fridge? What cans you got? And that's how I can spark up a conversation. Like, oh, hey, have you tried FreshenUp cans? Type of deal. So there was a trick and a thing set with that.
So in that same scenario, because we always love to ask for people that are a part of a brand, I'm a new viewer in your chat. Let's say you're with FreshenUp. I'm curious about trying FreshenUp. What 3 top flavors do you either love, or would you first time easily be like, you know what, go buy this. These are my favorite. What's your top 3 that you would tell somebody to go to?
You know what? And everybody asks me that question so many times, and it's so hard to literally give an answer. For anybody with them now having these sample packs, I literally tell them all the time, listen, if you want to try multiple flavors, grab a sample pack. That way, if you do grab a hot tub and you don't like it, you're not wasting, your money, or you're not going to trash or something like that. Grab yourself some sample packs. You get some, different options as far as a flavor. But for me personally, I'll be honest, like literally my shelf, I have exactly all the flavors that they've released, recently, probably for the last year, I would say. So I've got just about every flavor, and all of them I've enjoyed every single one of them. There's never been one that I was just like, not pleased with. The only one that I did try that I was not a fan of, but that's more of a personal preference, was the orange cream dream, just because I just don't like orange and cream. I just don't like cream drinks in general as well.
Fair enough.
And that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. So for me, that was
no
like
top
I had
3, no order that stick out, or
if I absolutely have to answer it, if it was like a do or die situation where this is the last 3 flavors that are ever gonna, have for me personally, it would have to be Freedom Berry Blast would be number 1. That was a really, really good flavor. Equinox and War Cherry would be tied for second. And then third, I'm going to have to go with Raven's Blood. But Equinox came out, was one of those special flavors that they came out with. It was kind of like an end of year type of deal.
I saw it, but it's sold out.
It was like it sold quick. Once the one first person tasted it, because it had like a grape taste to it. And it was just a very clean, solid grape flavor. Like, most of the time grape drinks are just too
earthy.
Yeah, like too strong, almost like. Yeah. So
is that like a white grape? I believe.
I don't know, to be honest. But it was really good, and I was very, very impressed with that flavor. So when people found out how good it was, there's people who bought like 3 or 4 at a time.
Sheesh.
Yeah. So
I will say the War Cherry, very good, and Raven's
that's actually
Blood.
what I'm drinking tonight. So.
Yeah, I had it in the sample pack, and yes, a very good cherry. Like I also just like it, and again, we care about what we put in our body, and it's nice because there's only 2 energy drinks right now I could think of, like brand wise, that aren't putting dyes in, and that is the brand that Teach is sponsored by, Glitch, at least in this line. Well, I haven't been seeing any dyes in their end, and FreshenUp. Although, Teach, you gotta be careful with these, man. Like 225, this gives you feels like you grow horsepower drinking this stuff.
Maybe,
like,
put on to Freshen Up news. Enough about Glitch. So again, we're on the topic of cans. We know that there's original, which is supposed to be more like a citrusy lemonade, peach, blue raz, Raven's Blood. If you had to take any flavor that you love and take one of those 4 out, which flavor do you wish made into a can instead of them?
Ooh. So is it like a flavor that they already have as a tub, or
something that's already a tub that's not being a can?
A tub flavor to become a can.
Yep. You got to knock out one of the original 4 coming out.
I will take out Sour Blue Shocked. or sour blue raz. I would take that one out and replace it with Equinox.
Okay.
Oh, no. Replace it with Freedom Berry Blast. Because I think that would be a killer can. And think about it. It would be great. It would be great. Imagine doing fireworks, having a bunch of cold, FreshenUp Freedom Berry Blast cans sitting there while you're watching fireworks. It'd be a no-brainer.
I can already picture the promo picture. You thought it. I thought.
Yes.
You already. You're like, Jordan, I got the promo image. Yeah. Like, let me hop on the social.
Just straight up. It would be just beautiful. Like,
taking me back to summertime, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. By the pool, cigar in my mouth, popping a can, watching the fireworks.
I can already imagine it. Me doing the promo too. Just straight dad bod, just sweating, just popping a can, just pouring it all over me. Like, I can already picture it. Jordan, if you're watching, you just hit me up. I got you.
Dad bod, the grill's going, the fireworks are going off, and it's just like, hey, I got a can in my hand. I'm good.
Now, the question I always love to ask the most in these scenarios for when people are with certain companies, and we were impressed when Jordan said it only took 10 days. Jordan came to us like, yo, you're doing good work. We got that code usage. We want to give you a flavor. If you had to pick a flavor that doesn't already exist to be your flavor, what would be the Angel of Death flavor for FreshenUp?
That's a good question. All right, so I don't know. It would have to be either I don't know. I never really thought about it, to be honest.
Never thought about having your own flavor?
I mean, I have.
Any ideas to spitball, at least? I mean, don't get pick one. Just brainstorm it, I guess.
Maybe a pina colada would be nice.
You want pina colada to be your flavor? Something you could drink every day. Your flavor, loud and proud. This is the Angel of Death.
Oh, yeah. Like, I love pina colada drinks. Well, yeah, I would have to say that, yeah.
Okay. I'll say because there's no wrong answers. Whatever you.
Yeah, I had to really think about it.
Ooh, I'd actually like. I'd like that take on pina colada. Yeah,
and then obviously I would try to eventually convert it into a can. That would be sick.
Hard to do with anything coconut, but it has been done before and done well.
Yeah.
So, as well, Angel, if you had to take any current flavor by FreshenUp that's not already hydration, but one of the other tubs, and have a hydration form of it, which one would you pick?
That's a good one. Ooh. I would say.
We put you on the spot, but in a good way.
I would say Freedom Berry Blast would be a good hydration.
I wonder how that would be. Huh.
I think that one would be good. Not I would say that one or even War Cherry. War Cherry wouldn't be a bad idea either.
I'd love that. Absolutely, any day.
I think those would be some good ones. I don't know. I've been sucker. Like I'm ready for some more Freedom Berry Blast. That flavor was just hit out of the ballpark. I really, really enjoyed that. So did a lot of people, which is why it's sold out so many times.
Now, looking on the website, because there's something new. At least I think it's new. I didn't see it before anytime I've looked at the website. Do you have any info or how do you feel about the new etched drinking glass?
I'll tell you right now how I feel about it.
Okay.
Don't mind the finger marks. I had some spaghetti and bread, so it has a lot of stains on it. But yeah, so actually, that's it right there. Love it. Honestly, really clean. I think the best feature about it, it's heavy. So it's got that heavy base bottom to it. I mean, very, very well done. Um, would I be able to get a full drink of Fresh Up in this? Probably not. But it would be a nice thing if, you do like a few drinks on stream type of deal. That'd be it right there.
Now, you say that because those are only 12-ounce glasses, and a typical shaker that I'm aware of that FreshenUp makes is a 27-ounce tall boy.
They do have small ones as well.
Okay.
Of the shakers. I think they're just out of stock at the moment. But I don't know. I haven't even poured a drink in there yet, so
It's definitely small. It looks like something I would pour a cocktail into.
Mm-hmm. Good old Crown Apple and Sprite.
I was about to say a scotch, a whiskey sour, something like that.
Yeah,
I wonder, some people are going to be happy about the watermelon that's coming out. That's for sure.
Yeah, they have quite a few flavors that are coming soon. Basically, what it is, and this just goes to show how good the products are. They basically just sell out of them quick. And that's basically why it's saying coming soon, because they've had watermelon before. Because I have quite a few tubs of them.
That's why it says coming soon. Gotcha.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, obviously, they're bringing it back, and whatnot. I'm not sure how the whole process goes exactly, but yeah, I know that's been a flavor that they've had. It just people just love it and they just buy the hell out of it.
Apparently so. I mean, I'm kind of just looking, and a fan of the show actually bought a tub of the Boss Berry. That's sold out. Freedom Berry, that's gone for a little bit. Cherry Blossom, gotta wait.
Yeah. So it's, as I said, what they make and what they're doing, obviously it's working. Because people like me who are continuing to buy it, continue to promote it, I've got, a bunch of people from my community who love it, where they were drinking something once before and they made the switch. They're just enjoying it all around.
So, usually Relly likes to be the man of hard-hitting questions, but I guess that's me tonight with it all.
Okay.
I'm going to hit you probably with the hardest one.
Oh, crap. Here we go.
Nobody ever likes to, but, I think it's always open and something interesting for us to be, realistic about in a way.
Mm-hmm.
You love FreshenUp, but if there's, one critique you can make, or if there's one thing you could change, what would it be? Would you wish it to be maybe more milligrams caffeine, bigger tub size, more variety? If you had to pitch a new idea or change something.
Actually, believe it or not, the idea that I did pitch and that I really wanted, they've already done it, which was my biggest factor. So a lot of the cups that I use for when I go to work, I'm using, my own. So the biggest thing, I'm like, hey, listen, we need some tall shakers. I double scoop it, so I need a bigger shaker. I'd rather buy it from you guys than just go buy my own. That way, if I'm drinking at work and somebody sees it, oh, what are you drinking? So when they came out with the tall shakers and they announced it all, that was my biggest yes, finally. I was really excited about that. Honestly, and this is me being completely honest, there hasn't been anything that FreshenUp has done that I would want them to change. They're very community first, which is, always a big thing for me. They take care of everybody. So, I mean, honestly, there's nothing that I could really say that I would critique or want them to do differently.
To continue I'm sorry, Teach. To continue your point.
Would you like to see them make a metal shaker? Because we brought that up to Jordan before.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
I actually did mention that to him about like an insulated shaker. Because in their Discord they have a section where you basically give your opinions
Yep.
or ideas.
Yep.
What's so amazing about that is they actually listen.
He does.
Which is like insane, for a company to, like I said, take care of the people the way they do, because people were like, oh, listen, we would really like tall shakers or insulated shakers, and honestly, right when I became an affiliate, because I started off as an affiliate and then obviously pushed my way to a partner with them, that's when they first came out with their first set of cans, and that right there was like all right, these guys are they know what they're doing. Oh yes, because like I said, I love powder. I love cans just as much as a powder, but I like to have both. It's just one of those preferences. Like I'd rather have powder for certain days and cans for other days.
Which I could totally understand that. The metal shaker thing, I ended up bringing that to his attention in Discord. I had no idea that long before you asked that, but so we try to keep our ears to the ground on these things. And well, since he doesn't like name dropping, I won't name drop. But there's been a certain company out there that they did a big time collab. They did a metal shaker. And, what happens is when you pull the top's been breaking off. When you go to wash it, there's been rusting around the lid. And you got one guy just being like, hey guys, I detail cars. Put this on the rim, but wash it off before you drink out of it. It's like, dude, why the sorry, but what the hell are you doing putting chemicals on top of your mouth? It's like a car, you don't put your mouth on it. Why are you doing this on metal? And then the customer support, which is backed up like your freaking colon after a Moe's burrito, they're backed up with all these customer service claims, and all these people are saying my shaker's rusting or it's broken. A lot of people have been told kick rocks. The CEO actually went to a group and made a claim saying, email us. Some representatives and employees went, hey, email us, we'll take care of you. But everyone's just kind of saying, yeah, rinse and repeat. They're telling you to scratch ass. Jordan would actually be like, wait, my shakers are rusting, my shakers are breaking. I'm making a phone call. That's just who he is.
Exactly.
You wouldn't tell somebody to kick rocks because you have no idea. Like the fact that people have been told, well, you better store your powder right, or well, you clearly don't know how to wash a dish, or you stored it a certain way for your cup. That's your ass, not mine or ours. Like
that's what happens when you have a company who third parties everything. That's why you run into those issues, is because like they're having somebody completely different take care of that somewhere completely else. So that company probably doesn't have any idea of what's going on or what they're making or what they're creating. Someone even said in chat, just hit it with that WD-40. Yeah, sure you can. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't. Don't do that.
Yeah. What's next? I'm gonna put on my hair to look like I'm from 1980. Come on.
Yeah, but no, I honestly I think metal shakers would definitely be a big hit for sure. Go ahead, Teach. I know you're gonna say something.
I was letting you finish because I had a question popping ready to go. I was trying to the conversation. Is that also what drew you into FreshenUp as well when signing with them? Like, I don't know if Jordan or if the company gives you kind of like any like, here's everything about us. Here's some good things to know about us. Because when we had Jordan on, he's like, we're very proud that we own this. Like, this is ours. We make everything ourselves. Like, no third parties. We do our own manufacturing. Is that also what enticed you and you felt a little bit more comfortable joining, promoting?
What really sealed the deal with me, this was one of the reasons. So basically to kind of backtrack a little bit, I'm very family oriented. The company I work for is family owned. That I drive local for, the company that I drove for over the road truck driving was family owned. So my mindset was stuck like on family owned. I personally never was a big fan of corporate, because to them you're just a number, you're just a name. Yeah, you're just a number on a piece of paper. That's it. So, to find out that, Freshen Up had that kind of atmosphere, that's what I really loved and what really sold me on that exactly. And then finding out that everything was done in-house by them just made things 10 times better. I mean, to this day, I still don't know how he does it. But I'll find out eventually once they finish their remodel, because I do have plans to flying out there and checking it out for a weekend.
Ooh.
Yeah, me and
actually, gotta be there videos on that. You think?
I know he posts like updates on YouTube. I don't think I've seen anything recently, but he would.
I gotta look into that.
He would. It would be on his personal YouTube channel. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see how everything works because believe it or not, I was actually in a call with him this weekend, and I told him like, how does it work with the cans? Like, do you guys do all the cans by yourself? And he's like, yeah. I was like how? Like, just I'm like, dude, kudos to you, man. Like, to be able to do all that, because I mean, I'm sure they're going to be making thousands of cans. Because
absolutely,
considering how great the first set did, just goes to show, like, listen, these second sets are and their majority of the flavors are new. So people I know will be like, I want to get those new flavors, which is why I'm buying like 5 or 6 cases. So that way if they go out of stock, I'm stocked up. So
indeed, not only that, but again, there are also flavors that are not on the market right now. Like if you look at the sour blue raspberry outside that ghost can with Sour Patch.
Yeah.
Only one of that flavor on the market. A regular strawberry, nothing. A regular orange, nothing.
Yeah, I'm honestly really excited for that peach flavor. Like, I think that one's going to be a big hit.
He says it's peach. The best, but that's
I don't know, man. Yeah, it's
you see
it's
that's what I'm saying. Like, if you look at all the brands that do a peach right now, if you say, hey, I got the best peach, talking a big game here, Jordan, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt right now, and he just goes, I know it's in front of me, but I think to me we got the best peach going.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm excited. I think especially the original I'm kind of excited too. Like I said, all these flavors it's just like a ticking time bomb. It's just waiting, just pop that can open. When they come out, I think it's just going to be great all around. Like, I think people are going to realize how good they are. Because I even mentioned to Jordan, I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys sell out the first month. And he's like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the first week. I was like,
or even first day.
I mean, he knows the numbers, so I mean, we can't doubt him per se. If he knows the numbers,
I know a couple of community members that are like heavy hitters that they buy a lot of their stuff in bulk, which is like someone like me. Point. I like to buy it all at once. Get that big old order in. And I've had tubs sit on my shelf for a good decent time with the wrap on. Pop it open and it's as fresh as if it's got there the first day.
Also, Tight Demon Seeds kind of got a point here. We are talking about peaches when you're a Georgia guy. It better be a damn good peach, right?
Oh yeah. I on a low, I grabbed some peaches here from Georgia and sent them over to Jordan. I was like, I got you, don't worry.
Really?
Make it authentic. No, not really.
Oh, okay. I was like, that would actually be kind of cool.
I was about to say, could you imagine it's just like, hey, I went to a farm, they're being shipped over to you, and this is what a peach tastes like, and try it next to your can.
There you go. That's the next promo video is just having me have a bag full of peaches on my back, just hustling and running with them, trying to deliver them to Jordan.
The Angel of Peach.
Oh, I like that.
Really? Do you have any questions?
Sorry?
I was saying, really? Do you have any questions?
Any questions from us? Anybody? I mean, I'm just kind of like stumped. I feel like I'm off my game today, but
yeah. Don't let the beard intimidate you. It's okay. I'm literally an open book, man. There's there's not much you can ask me. I mean, obviously, like I said, for something that I don't feel comfortable with answering, I'll just say I prefer not to answer. All I can say, without going into too much details, and here it is. You guys ready? We do have some things in the works with FreshenUp. Something big. That's all I'm gonna
so
say.
vague.
As in like you in the company, or as in like the company itself?
As in me and FreshenUp.
Okay. So is that like
Better
a possible?
yet, FreshenUp and I are working on something.
So is that like a possible angel flavor? A
I
pina
can
colada?
neither confirm or deny that.
Was that like the little sneak peek earlier where he's like, "Oh, he asked me the question. That's something that may be happening," and I
Angel pina
slowly give
colada?
the sneak peek.
Hey.
That's all I will say. That's it. I'm gonna leave it at that.
I
Say
mean,
more any less. Like I said, there's a few things that will be coming down the pipeline very soon.
So here's another question, train of thought for you. Do you wish FreshenUp would expand their sample line? Because for the example, if I buy a starting pack right now, I only get Sour Blue Shock, which is now Sour Blue Res, the Orange Cream Dream, and then Fruit Punch and Sweet Paradise. Do you wish they would like have more samples of the other flavors?
If I'm not mistaken, I think they do change it up. Because the last sample pack I received, I had gotten 2 caffeine flavors.
What the? Yeah, that's a new sample pack flavor on the site. Hold up.
Because what did you get in yours? Because I last time I got mine, which I gave them out to a couple of people at work, I got 2 caffeine ones and 2 hydration ones.
Same. I got a fruit punch. I got war cherry. I got mango hydrate and a blueberry hydrate.
Yeah. So I think they do mix it up. As far as the samples, but I could be wrong. That'd be more of a Jordan question. I don't want to say something that I don't know.
It looks like they do. Oh,
but I just know
it says in the description right here. It includes, and it says the 4 flavors in the description: fruit punch, war cherry, mango hydration, blueberry hydration.
Yeah.
Well.
But honestly, yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea to include other options by any means. I know a couple people have mentioned an option choice of what sample packs to get. That wouldn't be a bad idea.
Like pick your own 4 per se.
Correct. Yeah. Like a custom pack. That wouldn't be a bad idea as well, personally.
Especially now, we actually had a topic with him, and he talked about it was the strawberry bubblegum flavor. And he even told us straight up, and he's just like, really? This is what you want to go with? But he just goes, I got full confidence. And I'm like, is there a flavor you don't like? And he goes, no, I'm confident with everything we have. And that's bold. Because we've tried some stuff, or at least I have, where, well, if you've actually seen some episodes of the podcast, there's been some stuff that's been so shit, I've dumped it out my window right here. Some shit will taste like, some shit will taste like cough syrup, or one tasted like straight up stevia leaf, and it was just not good. One just very badly mediocre. Some stuff, again, any medicine taste or any flavor where it goes, this is absolutely horrific. This is rancid.
Yeah. Like I said, there was only one, and that was more of a personal preference. I had a buddy of mine who bought it. He said, hey, before you buy it, if you want to try it before you buy it, which was the Orange Cream Dream, because you don't like anything cream drink wise. I was like, let me just go ahead and take a taste of yours first before I go and buy a whole tub that I'm not going to like. And I was just like, nope. Like, I don't even like Orange Cream Dream ice creams at all. I used it as a kid, and now I just don't. Which is weird.
So
and we get scared when we got a grape, a cherry, or any bubble gum because and even Jordan told us, like, because of his pharmacy background, about what those taste like. So like every time when we see a grape, we already got like the red flag up, and we're like, all right, what kind of grape are we getting here? And I'm pretty sure you kind of feel the same way.
Yeah, that's why I was very, very impressed with the Equinox flavor. Like it just honestly, like I can't even explain. It just hit right on the money. Like it was the minute you took that first sip, you're just like, wow. Like literally, what I wanted to do before they sold out was go and hit the website and just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how good it was. Like it was just one of those like you wouldn't even think like how great it was just taking that first sip.
Absolutely. I mean,
Which is what I like. I mean, yeah, like I said, it was definitely something that you just wouldn't expect, and you were just like, wow, can drinks actually taste as good?
So I know something Jordan was kind of passionate about, and he loves that FreshenUp does. Technically, for the community, but also for himself that he can say he can do. Like FreshenUp does a lot of other cool side products like apparel. You guys do stickers. You have the custom like play mats, the AirPods. Is there something that like you're a big fan of that you would love to see FreshenUp adopt? Like maybe sunglasses, wallet,
Honestly,
random idea.
shirts.
Okay.
Definitely shirts. I love wearing. Obviously, I just wear kind of just whatever shirt on stream. I would love just to have freshen up chairs. Oh, someone said gaming chairs. That wouldn't be a bad idea.
FreshenUp gaming chairs.
I would rock that. Believe it or not, what you guys see back here, that's actually one of my community members actually 3D printed that for me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yes. Sick. It was pretty dope. Now I was very because I've actually I have a freshen up. I've got pretty majority of their merch line. The mats were really nice. That's what I have right now. Sweatpants were comfortable. Hoodies were like right on the money. Like they were so thick that you would get hot in it that you wanted to take it off. That's how good they were. So like literally in the wintertime, it was so cold out. Usually I'd wear like a hoodie and then like a jacket. Just wore that hoodie.
I hope those restock soon, man.
I know. Yeah, they were. But yeah, I would love to see some shirts. Definitely.
FreshenUp's never done shirts.
Not since I've been with them. I know we're doing. I know we have a pretty big giveaway going on Twitter where he's including a shirt. So it might be something that might be coming up. It's possible. But as far as long as I've been with them, I haven't seen shirts. They may have had them in the past, but I'm not 100% sure.
How would you feel about a jersey? Because I know he mentioned before he was looking into working with like a print shop to get these done.
I had mine somewhere. They do have them.
Like as an early release, have them?
They have freshen up jerseys. If you want to give me 2 seconds, I'll go grab it.
Oh, dude, take your sweet ass time. You kidding me?
I'll be right back.
I didn't know that was something that was already made. I thought that was all fresh and was going to be made.
I thought that it was in the works, but I mean, was that show you? Once again, Jordan is the smartest guy we've had in the show, and he's always been steps ahead. He's one of the smartest guys in the room everywhere he goes. If not,
all right. So I'm gonna do you guys one better. I'll just wear it.
Okay.
Wow, Teach. 20 for the year that they came out and everything. Oh my goodness!
I meant to wear it today. Actually, I just got ahead of myself today, and I even got off of work early specifically so I make sure that I'm properly set up for this. The one thing I forget to wear is the jersey. Yeah. So this is they actually came out with this. I want to say it was either right before or right after their merch line, like their fall merch line. And honestly, I actually, believe it or not, I actually got a bigger size because I was kind of scared of getting a smaller size. It was going to be just too tight for me. And sure enough, these were actually a lot bigger than I expected, which was nice. But yeah, super comfortable too. I was
True to size, no problem in the dryer, nothing.
I've watched this multiple times, never shrink, nothing.
Were they all the same? Like all the same design, numbers, and everything?
They were. Yes. Yeah. I know we had a few people asked about, hey, can you have it like customized? You know, according to, myself, but like, especially with the numbers and all that. And, unfortunately they made it the way it is, which I like it personally this way.
So 20 for 2020, the year they came out, and
yep.
So what's the deal with the paintball vibe? Is there anything
right?
to get behind that?
I don't.
Teach is a big paintballer, so we got to throw that.
So was I growing up. So that's the first time I'm hearing this about Jordan, considering how much time we actually spend, in a call or working on things or whatnot, or just chatting in general. But yeah, I kind of got the same vibe too. That's why I was like, all right, maybe it's just the design. But being that I had that, I didn't even think about it now until you said that. Like I did a lot. I did a lot of paintball when I was growing up too.
I mean, once you get into the sport, man, you never get out of it.
Oh, I loved it. It was. Oh, that's you, Relly. Okay.
Put 1, 2 together.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm like relentless. I was like, who is that?
I did mention it to you on Twitter. I'm just like, hey, if you want to hit me up on the other profile, if you see that, by the way, it's me.
Yep. Didn't even put squirrel. That's all I gotta say. I literally have a button on the stream deck that says squirrel because I have those moments 99% of the time. I'm not even joking. Like it was perfect. And it's so bad because my daughter's trying to do it, and then my wife just looks at me and is like, you see what you did? You see what you made? I was like, hey, like father, like daughter. That's all I gotta say.
I mean, I've always been afraid of that myself, where it's just kind of like they're just kind of like, how bad are you? And I'm just kind of like, I'm in the work truck. You could be telling me about estimates, numbers, and I could be thinking about fried chicken. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
I can't help it.
Yep. That's exactly how I feel too. I'm the exact same way.
It is absolute maddening to say the least. Like it's hard out there, but you know what? We give it our best. We give it a shot. A little caffeine can't hurt, and get it done.
Exactly. So I know you before we got to talking about the drill. I know you guys said I had some questions for you guys. I'm gonna throw you guys a curveball. What made you guys want to do a podcast that's based off of energy drinks?
Oh, brother, that's not even a curveball.
Oh, I'm not finished. I'm not finished. There's a two-part to this.
Okay.
All right.
So, what made you want to start a podcast with one another? And if you had the option to start a podcast separately, would you?
I've tried podcasting separately, and this was long before I met Teach, and this was during the COVID shutdown, and it's a tough racket, especially if it's such a really just I want to say overcrowded and polluted, but that's the only way I could describe it. Mm-hmm. But if you go by just this content, we're the first ones to actually do this.
Say, let me ask you something back and then fully answer that. Now, when you say separate, are you meaning like we would separately solo or separately take the idea but do it with somebody else on the same topic?
Yeah, that's the second option. Yeah, I guess I should have better explained myself. Like basically, let me see what's the best way to put. Would you guys replace one another?
No,
can't do it.
So to answer your question fully, about mid to end 21, Relly and I were in a group together, and we won't say the name of the group, but we both kind of had an idea of like, there's no energy drink, there's no energy supplement as much as we love energy supplement companies, and there's a vast majority, and it's a growing market over the past decade, and it's skyrocketing. There's no podcast on that. You have tons of podcasts talking about coffee and doing coffee talks, all this and that good jazz, but nobody's talking about energy drinks or energy supplements. And now with like content creation taking a boom and more people are being sponsored and sharing whatnot, like we wanted a platform because we both enjoyed energy drinks, energy supplements. We wanted to create a platform to where we could talk about news, updates, our personal thoughts and opinions. It's different companies, different flavors, who's doing this, who's doing what. Oh, no drama here. Oh, no bad info there, etc. Yada, yada, and inform the people. And kind of like it in the beginning of the episode, Relly was like, if you look at our YouTube, the first 4 episodes that are videos, we literally started talking. We're like, hey, are we going to do this? You want to try it out? So we recorded the first 4 episodes because we were trying to see if we had chemistry. We were trying to see if we could match. We were trying to see if it would work out. And then after that, we're kind of like, you know what? It seems decent so far. Let's go for it. Let's shoot this. And then we started doing it live ever since. And here we are 64 episodes later, a year and a half later. I wouldn't replace Relly for anybody else. Many people, if you watch over the past 63 episodes, would agree that we just have different kind of energies, but they're energies that match, and our chemistry together just matches one another. I like to be the goofy fun type, but I'd also say I'm a little bit more the serious type or business professional. Then Relly is the same way, but also vice versa.
It kind of clicks.
Yes, and a lot of people said, how do you do this and how did you keep it going for so long? And I actually had a person I know, IRL, he actually came to guest on the show, and he just simply was a non-biased guy that wanted to know more. And it kind of just simply went like this. If there was let's say a Monster Energy drink podcast, and if he's just comparing this thing to every brand out there and won't shut up about it, do you have content or do you have just a guy gloating about everything?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, if one guy says, hey, I saw this at a gas station, why would I want this over this? And we go, all right, let's compare ingredients. Let's go by this. There's been certain things that we've noticed in this market where it's like, hey, powder wise, there's very few powders that actually don't use artificial dyes. There's some cans that use sugar and they have 200, almost 300 calories in it, where some have 20.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
we try and compare ingredients. We talk about, we've tried to get into controversy, just try and spit facts. And again, we try to be non-biased as absolute possible. And even though Teach has a code within our company, he'll still have another can of something on air and just being like, I'll tell you if this is good, or if I think that this is sucks, I'll never try it again. Again, there's been some times where I've gone to a dollar store, have bought in a couple of flavors, and some I'm like, hey, this is great. And some where I'm like, okay, thank God it's only $1 and change, and I freaking drain most of it.
No,
we want to
guys... Go ahead.
We wanted to be here to educate and bring facts forward, and be the first in the market, an ever-emerging market, so that way people know somewhere to go to where they can get their facts straight. Plus, let's honestly kind of be real. Even we are an unbiased podcast, and as Relly said, even with me being with an energy company, if there's something I don't like, they make a crap flavor, they do something bad, I'll call them out, and I don't care. We are unbiased, and as such, we also want to bring clarity, because let's be real, you have some creators that are with the company that's like, this flavor is a 10 out of 10, next flavor, this flavor is a 10 out of 10, next flavor, here's my review, it's a 10 out of 10. It's I get it, you're promoting your brand you're with, it makes sense, but let's have some honesty to it, because not every flavor is a 10 out of 10. I guarantee there's one you don't like, but you're still calling it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, see now, and I've always been that type of person where if I don't like something, I will tell you straight up, I don't like it. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna be like, oh well, you know what, this flavor's okay. I'm like, nah, if I don't like it, I don't like it. I'm really picky, I guess you can say, and set on my ways on what I do and do not like. Especially when it comes to drinks. There's just certain things I just don't drink, and there's some certain things that I would just absolutely love. So, which is why I I've told Jordan this before too. We actually had a similar conversation about talking about flavors. I told him, honestly, dude, I mean, I was not a big fan of the orange cream, and he understood completely. He's like, listen, everybody has a different taste on what they like and what they don't like. So for someone to say, oh, listen, like you said, every flavor is amazing, I'm sorry, but you're full of it. Because you're always gonna have there's just some things you just don't like, and that's what it came down to with me. And I told him straight up, I'm like, hey, listen, it just wasn't for me. I just didn't like it. And I'm like, everything else, shoot, awesome. I love it. That was just the one. I was like, just didn't have a care for it.
I told Jordan that I'm like, listen, you said Raven's Blood was your go-to, and this is something you're proud of. And I said, listen, when I get my hands on this, and when I put that scoop in, I am going to give you the best opinion I can. And if I'm going to give any detail, it's going to be constructive criticism. Now,
Mm.
I rank mine based out of 5 stars. I don't do 1 out of 10. I just don't think it could be that precise. But
Yeah.
I give it a 4 out of 5 stars. And some people would say, it's what's the difference between 4 and 5? Now, it's very hard for a regular flavor like strawberry to be a 5 star, but that's okay because
Yeah.
at
Oh,
4 stars, you could still be a daily driver, not have to worry about keeping it safe for good occasions like, hey, it's Monday. I need you to be the only good thing in my day. Or, hey, it's Friday. I want to celebrate early. This is something you could have very regularly. This could be your daily driver, your good occasion, and it's just solid.
Yeah.
And he respected that. Like there's certain things that we found on this show that have actually been hidden gems. Like, do you know the grocery store chain Aldi's?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know how they make the generic brand energy drinks?
I've actually never had them.
So
Never even seen them.
yes, they do make generic brand energy drinks. They make the generic brand 5 Hour Energy, the generic brand Monster and Red Bull, sugar free and regular. They actually had I'm not sure if they still do, but I somehow got my hands on it when I was in there. They have a generic version of what they have, the Summit, which is their version of the White Monster. So I, on this show, live as we speak, do side by side comparison. And Teach is going, well, it's Monster. You're probably going to go with the Monster over the generic brand. No. Aldi's had a better White Monster flavor. It's the white cherry.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Theirs was better than Monsters. I think it was just like the syrup aftertaste or something, but I preferred the store brand version of it compared to Monster, which is something I didn't see coming. But this is why we research. This is why we try new stuff, because again, if somebody could find a hidden gem from this show, it's what's one of the things that's all about.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
If we tell somebody, hey, we don't recommend this, or hey, if somebody said, hey, I can't have dyes, what do you recommend? You know what I mean? We have options and flavors and everything that has been for everybody. We've compared brands multiple times. We've cut down the line every single time we can. And, there's some people that come in here and they want to argue or they'll have their case. And we had one guy in here and he goes, "Sup, guys, still drinking lead?" And we tried to talk to him about ingredients. And he goes, "What's this ingredient?" It was arsenic. And he goes, "What's arsenic? I don't get it." He didn't know that arsenic was related to apples. And it's like, if we're not going to understand this conversation, particularly when you're just responding a live comment feed, it's hard to have that conversation.
Yeah, at that point, you just shouldn't be saying anything at all if you don't know what you're saying.
I mean, if that's why we try to see, it's like, listen, if you're going to be biased, just check your ego at the door. We'll compare ingredients. We'll say what's what. We'll do our best. We'll open up the books if we have to. But if you're going to be thick-headed, we cannot help you.
And kind of to go on Relly's point there too, because I love that you actually mentioned this at the beginning of the show and knew exactly what you were talking about, and we covered it. It was a whole episode. I think it was like 2 hours long. The other reason why we're here, and everybody has their favorite companies you go to, we hold companies accountable. Because there were many people that knew of the big scandal that happened last summer when a company just laid off a bunch of their workers and tried to throw it under the rug. And everybody's like, "Oh, this is my favorite brand. Those people, I don't care if they have families. I don't care if they've been with the company. I don't care if they're hardworking. I don't care if they've improved this company. I'm still going to support them. I'm still going to drink them. It's okay. Pat back on the back. They did nothing wrong." Like, we hold companies accountable as you should. If a company makes a mistake, you need to hold them accountable and need to call them out. I get you're a fanboy. That's okay. But let's be real, at the end of the day, you can't be blind to the writing on the wall.
Yep.
Absolutely not. Like, there's like, and some of the things that you would say in the comments, like some of the guys that you would just see, like, Like the fact that one guy's just like, I don't care about streamers. I go through a tub a week, dude. So you're telling me that, I mean, your discount code is not changing. The product isn't changing. But if somebody's just like, listen, you could enjoy the product, but at the same time, we
Support
fight
somebody
for our
else.
right.
Yeah.
It's like, if a creator did something stupid, you use somebody else's code, right?
Exactly.
So if somebody wants to, be stunad, you could easily go to another brand that might be better, if not competitive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is part of the reasons why I had changed brands. I just
And I respect
didn't
that.
agree. I didn't agree it, and honestly, it was the best choice for me. Not only financially, because I didn't want to support something and give my hard-earned money to something that I didn't believe in, but it was also a good, healthy choice decision as well. Because I will say, what I drank before versus what I drink now, there is a 10 times difference in how I feel on a day-to-day basis.
Is it
I
the
know that
sweetener?
feeling.
Is it the dyes? Is it a
I
combination of things?
I
So
couldn't
just
tell
can't
you.
explain it.
I can't explain it. You could just let's just put it this way: when FreshenUp literally, quote unquote, uses the phrase "number one cleanest," that's exactly how I feel. And literally, I've had so many people who've used my code who just bought FreshenUp in general said the exact same thing. Like they're like, "Wow, when I take that first sip, it is just a super clean drink." And that's exactly how I felt. Like it was just when you take that, it's basically like drinking just like flavored water at that point. Like it was
And
just good.
Which is nice.
I'm glad you brought that up because it's how we see each other in each other's shoes. Because like the whole reason why I own a said fridge from said company in the past was from a partner leaving that ex company from when that scandal went down. And then kind of in the obvious, you can see a lot of what I have in the background. And that was from when I drank a said previous company for a very long time. And then after that whole thing, I split ways because I didn't agree with it. It's not something I'm going to stand behind. And
Yep.
I've switched and I'm with an actual brand partner with now. And I 100% agree, when you don't have that melted extra, when you don't have the extra BS thrown into there, you're not just hyping it up. It is vastly different. You feel vastly better.
Yeah, that's what, and that was like something I couldn't stand by. I mean, that company could have at that very moment say, "Hey, listen, we want to bring you as a partner." I wouldn't.
Let me even ask you this, because this is a great question on that whole subject. Because I don't know this, and if you can't answer it, it's okay. Just tell me so. But with that, even X company, they're doing a new program now where you can promote their brand, get a code, and have your code used and get no financial cut from it. As an affiliate with FreshenUp, if you have a code get used, do you still get a kickback from that, or is it only partners?
You do. You do.
So I haven't gotten solid confirmation, but I'm pretty sure we all know who we're talking about. We're just not name shouting at this point in time. So I have talked to a said big bully energy company associated with this program, and he says he does get kickback. I did try to answer him a couple questions during his stream, I'm sorry, and hopefully he does follow the show on Twitter. Maybe we might be able to have him on. Maybe he could dish the dirt before he does a stream, because usually he streams about 9:00 at night during the week. We shall see. But I mean, I've always wanted to get one of those new, oh my God, I can't believe I'm calling this, ambassadors on to really get their take, because I understand that it seems like there's a lot of people where literally anybody, as long as you have an email address these days, could get a code for a certain energy drink. There's a few of them out there. It's like, hey, do you create content? No. Do you have an email address? Yeah. Step into my office. Like, it can be done, and that's Fugazi. It just is. But it's like you go to these certain brands now, it's like this used to be the king of the industry before the controversy, the bullshit, the XYZ. But now it just seems like they're doing this program for these fanboys that are going to defend the brand and the creators that are pieces of freaking garbage and just not hold anyone accountable for it. Like I will say this. There have been there has been at least one I could think of where he is very well known at the brand. And I will just say this. I won't say anything for who he is as a person or who he is as a man, but for what he is in the media and how he promotes himself, I think he's absolutely a complete ass. I got no respect for him.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's like the fact that we're having more and more people attached to him, it's just creating more of a toxic community.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest thing on all of that about that specific X company was why now? Why bring that out now? What is the real reason you decided this is going to be a good time to do this? Because I mean, obviously they've been around for a while, I would assume. Why now? What draw you to go this route? Which like I said, you know, don't get me wrong. A lot of people are like, oh, well, you're just an affiliate, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I did start off as an affiliate with FreshenUp.
Everybody does.
But here's the thing, though. I knew what I needed to do to get to partner, where most companies that I was, you know, maybe affiliated with in the past, there was no way to progress. That was it, you know, or they didn't tell you. Where with FreshenUp, hey, listen, you do this, this, and this. This is how you will proceed towards, you know, a partnership. And same thing with, you know, getting your own flavors, you know, as well as a you know, partner or as a creator with FreshenUp. You know, they tell you, hey, listen, this is how you you know, achieve this goal. You know, which I've seen. I mean, the amount of creators that I've seen so far that FreshenUp has given them their own flavors has been amazing. I mean, it just shows how well they care about, you know, their partners and, you know, their affiliates in general. Just to see so many people have their own flavor. Like you, at that point, you know, obviously it's hard, but it's doable. You know, to achieve that specific goal, you know, as far as getting your own flavor. So,
see, something on a statement wise, I give
Sure.
FreshenUp a lot of credit for, because I saw this recently, is that FreshenUp is very open to new doors, to many different communities, for the aspect of you have these big energy companies. It's like, we only want the COD players, we only want the Valorant, the Apex players, the AAA title games. Where someone I knew in my community, in the Destiny community, was recently brought in and became a partner of FreshenUp. His name is Malachi, and and I was like, you know, I give FreshenUp a lot of credit for opening up their doors and having a wider spread community of different people. And like, we only want COD players. We only want these 3 games. If you're not that, get out of here. Oh, you got big numbers. You're a big streamer. You don't play our games. Get out.
See, and that was the thing with me. Like, you know, my content isn't very, you know, centered as far as what I do. I mean, I do a little bit of everything. You know, I do a little bit just chatting, a little bit of gaming, but I have a very outgoing personality. And my community is kind of the same way, where we kind of go from 0 to 100 real quick, you know?
Hey.
Yeah. So, you know, and same thing with, you know, like Door Donkey and I, you know, we work well together. You know, you kind of remind me of you two, you know, where we're like yin and yang. We can finish each other's damn sentences. And the kind of content that we create is, you know, we don't hold back to an extent. Of course, we don't want to, you know, obviously step on anybody's toes, but, you know, we'll literally full send it. And for FreshenUp to accept that, you know, because Door Donkey is also a partner with FreshenUp as well. So for them to accept us in that type of manner, you know, just goes to show that they have a very broad, you know, what their community is about. Because literally, I'm one of those people where I will be in a fight. Someone will redeem something stupid like stand up for 1 minute. I will stop what I'm doing, gaming wise, and go stand up for 1 damn minute, or whatever the case may be. But yeah,
Some ridiculous.
oh yeah. So they like you said, because Destiny. I mean, obviously it's making a comeback.
Oh, it's been around the entire time. It never went away, baby.
No, I mean,
The only time it went away is today because of maintenance or the pain.
Yeah. I mean, I used to play Destiny a lot, but this was before I started streaming. I was literally grinding with my brother and all that, but I stopped playing it for a while, and everybody was just like way ahead. I'm like, I'm out. I can't do it anymore. We tried doing a little bit of it on stream, and it got to a point like, this is more of an off-stream game for me. I just feel like that style game mode is something that I could just do off-stream versus stream.
I mean, there's some guys that are just different, man. I know one guy. There's one game he cannot play on stream. He goes, listen, Call of Duty streaming is overpopulated. And number 2, I have the mouth of a freaking truck driver. I can't do it.
See, and
Halo, fine. Valorant, fine. Splitgate, fine. Call of Duty, trucker mouth.
yeah, we do play. We know. I mean, I know personally, it's a very oversaturated game. But here's the thing: why am I going to play a game and stream a game that I don't find enjoying?
Also,
I don't want to be someone that goes and stream and don't take this the wrong way to all the Minecraft people, because I love you guys. Don't worry. But I can't be the type of person to go and stream Minecraft because my viewers might like it, where I'm not going to enjoy it. So all I'm basically going to do at that point is just put on a fake show, and that's not what I do.
Well, I mean, again, this just happens when it's your own genre. I mean, sandbox games, it's just like what you put in your shaker. It's an acquired taste.
Yeah. So I mean, is COD saturated? Do I get very agitated from time to time? Yes, but as long as you play with the right people and just enjoy yourself, just have fun, which is what I do 99% of the time, it's a good day for me. It's a good stream. It's a good time, But obviously, if you're playing with people who just don't want to talk, obviously it's going to be a boring time. You're probably just going to be like, I don't want to play this game no more. But I mean, we troll so much in Call of Duty anyways half the time, where we will literally play with randos and just have them hop in a helicopter and just eat them across the map and watch them die. So, like, hey, thanks for free content. We'll see you next time.
I respect it.
Yeah. So, I mean, for the most part, we just like having fun. And especially with, Call of Duty coming out with the proximity chat, that just changed the playing field for everybody. Like, granted, there is some negative factors with people saying certain things, but there's also some bonuses to it,
Yikes.
Which I enjoy.
There's definitely some gold to be had. I've seen both ways.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
As we get near the tail end of the show, Angel, to you yourself, or even if you had anybody in your community, did you have any fellow questions you want to ask open to either of us in general? Because we always like to have that last little segment to the show as well.
Not off the top of my head.
Goals for the show, flavors, pick a poison. I mean, anything.
And anything's on the table.
Spitball, anything.
No pressure.
Any question?
Yes.
Okay.
You, community, anybody. If not, that's A-okay. But we want to leave the door open.
Oh, well, apparently nobody in my community, because for some apparent reason, my stream ended.
Oh, wow. Broadcast ended. I see that now. Damn.
Oh,
the pain.
Yeah, it's the joy of streaming.
If there was any question referring to that, I think we would have. I think I would have brought it up. But I mean, so I feel like some people wait for some of us to, like, I guess you can say, elaborate it, and eventually they're like, they'll bring it up eventually. But I mean, there's some people I know where they actually have questions for the show, and then they're like, "Hey, I've been had it in the back of my head for like 3 weeks."
Yeah, yep.
That happens all the time.
I'm sure something will probably come to mind. The only trying to think something off the top of my head if I did have one. 'Cause I think I've already asked you guys basically, the questions that I've wanted to ask, or questions I should say. I guess my only other question would be: have both of you guys tried Freshen Up?
I have not yet. Jordan
Okay.
said he had a care package on the way. That's when I will try it per se. I haven't
Okay.
received anything just yet, but I am excited to try it.
Okay. And in your honest opinion, really, Freshen Up, if you were to rate it on your star level, what would you give it?
So currently speaking, if I have to go by off memory, this is the Caffeinated podcast. So I've tried two energy flavors so far.
Okay.
I've tried the War Cherry and I've tried the Raven's Blood. The Raven's Blood, 4 stars out of 5. And in my opinion, it is the best strawberry on the market, period. It may be the only, there might be some variation of it. But as far as a regular strawberry, right now, it's the best strawberry powder on the market. Not capping, being serious. That's what's on the table. The
Sweet.
War Cherry. I really think it's nice, and part of the Freshen Up formula that's really nice about it is it mixes very well, and it's got a lightness, and I don't mean light as in flavor, but just like in the title, it is refreshing. It gives it a little bit of life.
Mm-hmm.
So I give that one, I want to say a little over 4 stars, like a 4.2
Okay.
out of 5, which I think there's a difference between my scale, and I figured it out to make it easier for me. If it's 1 star, I'm spitting it out. I'm throwing a drink out. 2 stars, I'm not finishing it. There's a gap between 3 stars. I like it, but I probably won't buy a tub of it. 3.5, I like it. I would buy a tub. 4 could be a daily driver. This is amazing. This, I think, is a recommendation. 5 is goated. It's God tier. It's either 5 stars or 5 stars plus. Just keep it all one category and say, somebody, anybody, please try this.
Fair enough.
Although, speaking of, here's a question. Unfortunately, Jordan's not here to answer this. So you make a mango hydration. You guys are making a good peach. We don't know why so many companies don't do this, but it is in high demand. Is there going to be ever a Freshen Up peach mango?
Ooh. Be a good question.
Because literally the peach mango, there's one that's a hydration right now, and that's from another big company. But there's one that was taken off the market from one of the big competitors. I think as far as the Freshen Up, like the formula, could they make a good peach mango? It's going to have the right amount of citrus, the right amount of sweetness, the right amount of juice, and give it a life. If that, I assume, just my thought process in my brain tells me that's a 5-star flavor waiting to happen.
Honestly,
But would it happen?
considering how good the mango is, which for me was kind of a weird flavor at first, just because I've never really had so much mango drinks before. I was very impressed with it. And I haven't really tried, of course, a peach drink from Freshen Up yet. So to see it mixed, I would have to try the peach to be able to tell you on whether or not I feel like those two would mix well with. Because I mean, honestly, I wouldn't know. I don't even know if I've even tried anything peach mango before. To be
The
honest,
Georgian not trying peach mango. At least he's honest.
yeah. I mean, I off the top of my head, I mean maybe, but it could have been an alcoholic beverage. That's something I could think of. I don't think it had any energy in it. If anything, it put me to sleep.
If it involves the bad news, brown booze, it don't count.
Yeah. So I mean, that's just me thinking off the top of my head. But like I said, I mean, I'm excited to see what the peach tastes like. I mean, yes, I live in Georgia. I'm not from Georgia, but it would also be something very cool to see because then I mentioned to some of my coworkers, about Freshen Up coming out with the cans and having a peach, and they're like, "Oh, dude, we would really like to try that." I'm like, "Well, when they come out, I will let you know, and you guys can go ahead and buy yourself some. And like, yeah, that would be awesome. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see. I in my honest opinion, I can see it coming out being a 10 out of 10 or 5 out of 5.
It's always kind of
honestly,
funny, man.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't even remember the last time I had something peach besides a sweet tea.
I was about to say, because we have a friend of the show, Chris Stone. He's from California, but he's lived in Tennessee for a number of years. And I've always just kind of said this, and I'm like, listen, if it's barbecue, if it's peaches, if it's tea, I'll leave that grid to you. But please, so help me God, if it's pizza or chowder, obviously you could describe Chicago deep dish. I'm not knocking it because I've tried it. But it's like leave the pizza and the chowder to me, and I'll ask you about the peaches and tea.
Yeah,
and we just kind of air handshake agreement on it.
Yeah, to this day, I've actually mentioned to somebody about deep dish pizza, and we had some people say, "Oh yes, that stuff is amazing," and we had people say, "Oh, that stuff is just garbage." My wife even said it was garbage. I was like, "And if I would have known that before we got married, we probably would have never been married." I was kidding.
I'll say this, man, like it's religion over here, because if you think about it, I used to work and I stay in New York, but also if you go to New Haven, Connecticut, that they consider the pizza of the world. Like there's some places that have even been in Hollywood movies.
Yeah,
Don't
get me wrong, I love my
for
thin
real.
crust. Yeah, like I love my thin crust, but I'm sorry, deep dish. Oh, that just hits the spot.
Yeah, and you got some Jersey guys over here that be like, aha, jerk off. You like casserole.
See, now I can mess around with some casserole though. I could definitely mess around with some casserole though. Like honestly though, I mean, and I found out. So actually, somebody actually told me on stream because they're from Indiana, and they're like, "Hey, did you know that you can get a frozen deep dish pizza shipped from Giordano's in Chicago to you?" I'm like,
I tried that, and
did you?
Yes. So as a gift, I had 4 in freeze, dry ice and everything else. 4 of those pies delivered to this establishment in Connecticut. And oh my goodness gracious, it was frozen, everything else. It was just like, hey, keep it in the fridge, and when you're ready, oven this to the way that we describe it. And it is precision. That's why, again, I want to try that with Detroit style so I could try the all 4 styles in the US. But we could go on forever about freaking pie, man. You know me. You know me, Teach.
And on that note, Angel, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you for accepting our invite. Thank you for being on. Thank you for the opportunity to take up some of your time in your Monday evening. In the last little bit, again, tell us who you are. Tell us where people can find you. Where do you put content out? What's your code for Freshen Up? The last second to send it off is all you.
Yeah, so again, my name is Angel. Go by Justin as well. You can find me on Twitch, TheAngelofDeath. It's all across all of my socials as well. Nothing is different. And if you want to get yourself some Freshen Up, you can use code Angel at checkout, and it'll save yourself some 20% off. But no, thank you guys so much for having me. I really appreciate it. This is definitely a lot of fun. So
one last thing before you take off about your code. Does it stay even at that discount, or does it fluctuate?
As far as like percentage wise?
Yes.
There has been a time where Jordan has actually, reached out and says, "Hey, listen, we're going to do like a little promotional month where we'll boost your code to 25%." So there's obviously been an increased fluctuation for a certain period of time. Which is something, he's done before. So,
but does it stay consistent at 20 or?
Yes, yeah, it stays consistent at 20.
Okay. So that is another subject for hopefully another time, but that has been another debacle in some of these big companies. But Angel, thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
For everybody that has been new from Angel's community that has stopped by. If you have any questions, leave them down below. We'll get to you as soon as we can. Twitter, right here on YouTube, anywhere. And just anything that I can do for you, Angel, or any guys in your community, please let us know. And with that, everybody, I'm not sure where you are, but we got some bad weather here. So we'll end it with this. Stay warm, stay safe, stay healthy, drink plenty, stay caffeinated. Stay safe, happy, and well. Have a good night, all.
See you guys.
Take care, man.